What is going on, everyone? Today I've got a follow-up video, so to speak, to a video I did a little while ago, which was Pokemon ROM Hacks, a tier list video for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color ones. Not going to be doing the Game Boy Advance ones just yet. I want to maybe get a few more under my belt before I tackle that. There's quite a few out there, so definitely want to prepare for that. But today I did want to take a look at some Nintendo 64 ROM hacks, the greatest console of all time in my opinion. And speaking of opinions, this video is just that, just my opinion, so if I rank anything differently than how you guys would, please don't hate me. I'm only me, alright? Please don't hate. And also, just like my last video, I'm not going to have every single ROM hack on here. There is quite a few out there. I haven't played every single one, but I do feel like I've got some decent representation here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Alright, well I am just going to go ahead and set the bar quite literally as high as it can go with Smash Remix. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with all of these on this list. I won't go too in depth on these, but Smash Remix is like flawless. It's an absolutely unflawed game. You know, it just adds a bunch of new characters to it. New characters and courses, to be specific. The courses just blew my mind. I think that was probably my favorite part. So, fantastic game. I think 100% this deserves the S category. Zelda 64 Dawn and Dusk. This is like a best way to describe it. It's almost like a DD expansion. I mean, if you're even familiar with that, it didn't really take off very well. But if it did, this is kind of like what I would see. It's like a nice, short and sweet little adventure. It is short though, so I do think B is maybe a good one there. Definitely fun, definitely worth checking out. It's one of the few ones, I think there's probably a gajillion Zelda hacks out there. I've got a few of them on this list here, but this is definitely one of the better ones out there in my opinion. And next up we've got Dragon Ball Z Kart 64. I want to put it in A, so I'm gonna, but then I'm gonna be real here and actually probably just drop it back in B here. It's a crime that there was no Dragon Ball Z games on the Nintendo 64. I don't know how that slipped through the cracks, but it did. But this is just kind of a reskinned Mario 64. There are a few of them out there, like Slasher Kart 64, Simpson Kart 64. They're all kind of the same. They're fun, though. They are fun, and I think Dragon Ball Z Kart is, of course, the better looking one. I just think the models, they did a good job there. So, yeah, definitely B category. F-Zero X Climax, that's probably going to be an A. It's not my favorite game, or at least F-Zero X specifically. F-Zero GX on the GameCube is probably my favorite F-Zero game, but X is also very good. I've mainly only played it on the Switch Online, a little bit on an actual 64, but the F-Zero X Climax, though, however, is a pretty fantastic ROM hack. It's got, like, I think 24 new courses, I think, that it adds, and it's just an all-around superb hack. I don't think it's quite S-level like Smash Remix, but I think I definitely could drop it in the A category there, comfortably, of course. And here we've got a couple of Ds. We've got no Fs here, but I do think we've got probably a couple of Ds. I don't know if there's going to be any more on this list, but these definitely, I think, belong in the D category. No hate here, like I said, no Fs, but you've probably seen these floating around. There's like I don't know, they're all over Etsy and AliExpress, I think. For some reason, they're just very popular. But these are the GoldenEye kind of reskin things. You know, play as Mario character in GoldenEye, play as Sonic characters in GoldenEye. They're gimmicky, they're a little goofy, but they're not really for me. And I don't know, not too much in entertainment value in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and drop them in D. Super Donkey Kong 64. This is honestly a pretty fun one. I am going to drop it in B. It's kind of like the perfect hybrid in my opinion. You got a little bit of Donkey Kong 64, you got a little bit of Mario 64. I like the Mario engine, like the way Mario feels and how that moves just a little bit more than Donkey Kong feel, but I think I like the setting and the world of Donkey Kong. I like that game just a little bit better, so I think this is a nice cross blend between those, if you will. So also B though. I know not quite A yet, but I think B is worthy for this. So now, can I get a quick show? Who doesn't have friends? I know I would have raised my hand there, but that's okay because GoldenEye X or GoldenEye X Perfect Dark, I'll drop that in A. I think that's going to be A. GoldenEye X Perfect Dark sort of bypasses the need for friends, if you will. It's the Perfect Dark engine, if I'm not mistaken, with GoldenEye levels. So basically, you can experience GoldenEye with bots. I think we all would have loved that. Not too many games had bots back in the day, so this is a much-needed addition that definitely makes GoldenEye, I don't know, more playable, because, you know, I didn't have any friends, I couldn't play with anybody, only my brother occasionally, so definitely going to be dropping that in the A slot. Mario 64 split screen. I don't know how this game didn't have split screen to begin with. I heard rumors, I don't know what all's true or not, that maybe it was going to have split screen. There's been footage out there of it at Space World with split screen, something like that. I don't know, but I think this game would have been so much cooler. Not that it's not cool, of course, but it would have been just so much better if it had split screen. I know I would get my girlfriend to play with me if we had split screen, but that's neither here nor there. I think that's definitely a much needed addition, but not quite enough to get it in A, so also going to be dropping that in B. We've got quite the hefty round of B here, but I'm sure that will change. And here I think we have another A. We've got Goldfinger, another GoldenEye-esque hack. You know, not perfect dark, but either way, we've got Goldfinger, and for a long time I would see this on like Etsy or various websites, and I legit just thought it was like a relabeled GoldenEye like reproduction card, but no, it's actually Goldfinger, the movie Goldfinger. You know, and again, Bond fans out there, I'm a Pierce Brosnan guy, but if we got any Goldfinger fans out there, yes, it is that movie remade in the GoldenEye engine. So the GoldenEye is obviously like the one of maybe not the best 64 game out there, so this is basically like a sequel, if you will. Not actually a sequel, but it's like a second GoldenEye game, so it's a whole new experience. Fantastic. I'm going to be dropping that in the A category. Here we've got a couple of rascals. We've got some Kaiso games. Super Mario 64 Kaiso, actually. I guess that's just, yeah, it is Super Mario 64. I wasn't sure if the Super was there. Then we've got Pokemon Stadium Kaiso. I've said this, I think, in my last one. I'm not the biggest fan of Kaiso. I'm not going to drop it in D. It's just, it's a hardened experience. It's not really for me. I don't like to pull my hair out. I like to have fun. I'm a much more casual video game player. I don't like to complete things. I don't like to challenge myself too hard. I'll play on easy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. So, yeah, no offense to the Kaiso games. I'm going to be dropping those in the C. I think that's fair for my own personal ranking here. And here we've got a sequel, maybe? I think I've seen it described as a sequel, if you will. We've got Super Mario 74. There, in my opinion, are better ones out there. I'm also not a completionist, so I don't go for all the stars. It's not really my thing too much, but I do think this is B. I kind of want to drop it. Maybe I will drop it in A. I reserve the right to change things, but I will drop that in A for now. It's fun, but I do think there are slightly better ones out there. Mario Kart Amped Up. Oh wow, this is a fun one. This is seriously fun. It's like, you know, it doesn't add new characters. That, at least I don't think it's added new characters yet. From when I played it, has not added new characters. But it's just like the much needed quality of life improvements of Mario Kart. I don't want to say desperately needed, but they needed them. It's just nice little, you can do like trick jumps. It's got extra courses. It's just an all-around better experience. And I think that deserves to drop in there because Mario Kart 64 is the best racing game out there on the 64. None of them beat it. I'm sorry, none of them do. So definitely worth dropping in the A category because it just makes the game better. 10 times better, even. But that's just my opinion. Man, we are really going to be crowding this A. Yeah, we're going to really be crowding this A. I don't think I can crown these S just yet, but we've got The Legend of Zelda Masters of Time. Better than Dawn and Dusk. Kind of gives me, at least with the colors, from what I haven't beaten this one, but from the colors I've played, not everywhere, it gave me Skyrim vibes, which I liked. It's kind of like these darker, muted colors, and I don't know, I kind of liked it. It's bigger than Dawn and Dusk for sure, but I do think that there's something out there I like a little bit more, but I'm going to drop that in the A. Super Mario Bros. 64, I actually did do a physical cartridge on this. Mine was a little wonky, but that's not against the ROM itself, or the hack itself. But this is a fun one. I am going to drop it in C. It being a Mario 64 ROM hack, it just looks so beautiful. Like that's the best part about Mario 64. It's just how it looks. It's very colorful. But yeah, this kind of like camera locks you and recreates the original Mario Bros. Game. Very fun, but it can be either super easy or super hard because it is the Mario 64 engine. So the movement is a little strange, but it's fun. It's fun, but I think it's more pretty than it is good. All right, I am going to drop this because that is just getting crowded, but no hate, but I'm dropping this in here. That's why I needed to move it. There's just too much in A. Maybe I'll actually put this in S. I might put that in S and put you back in A. Not to throw you down. That would be rude. But we've got Star Fox 64 Survival. One of my favorite games of all time is Star Fox Adventures for the GameCube, and this just sort of gives me that 64 vibe of it almost. You know, it's a Ocarina of Time hack where you are modded in as Fox and you've essentially crash landed and you just survive waves of enemies. You know, it is a little repetitive, but I just think the premise of that being very similar to like Dinosaur Planet or, you know, I guess Star Fox Adventures just really hit home for me. I loved it. So I think it's S. Obviously Smash Remix is a little bit more quality, but I had such fun playing this. So yeah, I'm dropping that in S. But we do have another S. We've got The Missing Link. This this is the best Zelda hack out there. I know there are a few others out there. I've not played every single one, but the missing link is fantastic. The sprite work that everything that they added into the game was fantastic. I don't want to spoil the experience. I don't want to talk about the story too much, but definitely worth playing. I mean, all three of these are worth playing. Maybe start out with Dawn and Dusk. It's pretty short and it's very fun, but the missing link, if you want a full-on Zelda adventure, check that one out. Definitely S category. This is one you've also probably seen, Waluigi's Taco Stand. You've probably seen that floating around. I see this one all the time. It's actually pretty fun. I get it. Maybe that's overselling it because I am putting it in C. It's unique. It's very unique. You play as Waluigi. You gotta pay rent. It's very, very short though. So that's kind of my biggest thing is why it's going in C's, because it is ultimately very, very short, but very, very unique. I can definitely say that. So definitely a fun game. You should check it out if you're a fan of Mario 64. Here we've got a better Mario 64 hack, probably the best one I've played. Star Road. This is just wow. I think this is the one that adds Galaxy music. Who doesn't love Galaxy music, right? But oh my god, the sprite work and everything that they add, all of the different textures and things that they add from different games, they do a really good job. And all of the world building, I mean, if you're a fan of Mario 64, this is probably the best one out there. I don't know if there are other ones out there that I've not played, but Star Road is fantastic. Of course, I already said it, not a completionist, so I'm not going for everything out there, but I'm more so there for the story. So definitely S here, or sorry, S tier in my opinion. Now here is a very nostalgic blast from the past for me. This is the first 64 ROM hack I ever played, Zelda's Birthday. Kind of a strange named one, I'll admit. I thought it was very strange when I played it, and holy cow, it took a lot of effort to get this thing going. Oh my gosh, my emulator kept crashing. This was years ago, of course. Years ago. I don't know if it's gotten any better. I don't like to play on the computer too much, but definitely a fun one. Also pretty short. Not sure which one's actually shorter, but I would definitely say Dawn and Dusk is a little bit more fleshed out and a more actual Zelda feeling adventure, but Zelda's Birthday was definitely fun, but I'll put it in C. Now here we have something pretty new. I only saw this about like 2 weeks ago. I haven't actually played this yet. I don't even know if it's out for sure or if it's fully out. Maybe there's a beta. Maybe it is fully out. Honestly, I don't know. But I watched the trailer for this, and this is a complete overhaul of Mario 64. And if you're a Bionicle fan, holy cow, I know I am. I maybe skipped out on the last few generations of Bionicle, if I'm being honest, but I loved that. I loved that shit growing up, and I love the movie. This makes me want to watch the movie again. I haven't seen that in a few years, but holy cow, I mean, just visually speaking, this was so stunning. Visually speaking, that's why I'm dropping it in an S, because obviously I haven't even touched this game yet, but I mean, wow, that game looked fantastic. That game looked flawless. I know that's overstretching. It is, again, a Mario 64, technically, so maybe I'm overhyping it a little bit, but visually speaking, it was just stunning. So I'm putting that in the S category. Now, somehow I accidentally left this off, but we've got The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 4 Swords Arena Edition. A little bit of a mouthful. I'm going to put that in B. If you don't know, it's like 3 dungeons, I think, but basically they've modded in so you can actually play with 4 different links, which is pretty cool. Or I think you can actually play it through by yourself if you wanted to. I know I probably would have to because I don't have any friends, but I think that's pretty badass being able to play through. It's, you know, it's like the original 4 Swords, but in Ocarina of Time. And I don't know, being able to play through in the Ocarina of Time engine with other people, it's kind of like a multiplayer experience. I think that's pretty cool. I kind of want to put it in A, but it is pretty short, so I'm going to be putting that in the B category. Alright, that is going to do it though. That is going to bring us to the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, this didn't have everything on here. This is just a quick little thing I wanted to do. I haven't played every single 64 game out there. There's a lot, and I want to get a few more under my belt before I take on the Pokemon ROM Hacks for the Game Boy Advance game. If you all enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like. I would greatly appreciate that as always. And of course, subscribe if you feel inclined to. And of course, if I missed anything, if there's anything that I left off, anything that you want to recommend that I should check out, feel free to let me know. And you guys should try this out and let me know what you rank everything else for yourself. I'm definitely curious in seeing what that might look like for you all. But until next time, I'll see you all later.